Yo, what's going on, guys? Today is going to be a 4-2-1-3 formation. It is one of the new formations on the game, and I cannot wait to show you guys how to use it to the best of its ability. So make sure you hang around for the rest of the video. Do you want to have an amazing team like this? Well, head over to iggm.com to get the cheapest and most reliable coins on FC24 and use code CLUTCH at checkout for 5% off. So guys, like I said, we are going to be doing it with a 4-2-1-3. I am very excited to be showing you guys this one. It is a new formation for FC24, not one that we have seen before, and it is actually very similar to one of the best formations on the game. I believe that this formation is very similar to the 4-2-3-1, except instead of having two wide cams, you do have left wingers, right wingers. So again, a very similar formation. I'm really looking forward to showing you guys this. I've used this a few times and I've actually really enjoyed it. There is definitely some things with it that you need to get used to, but that's why we've got the tactics and instructions to try and make it as good as possible. So yeah, guys, before we do get into it, if we can as well, please drop a like, drop a sub on the video as well, and if you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. I'll reply to every single comment. So it's always good to hear from you guys down in the comments. I always look forward to it. So yeah, right, so we're just going to go into it. We're just going to go into it. No waiting around, no fussing. Now, balanced on defensive style. Again, for me, the pressing tactics just aren't worth it, especially with the depth thing that basically is in the game now. The depth, basically this 71 depth is so good that you just don't need press tactics. It just isn't worth the risk reward. It's just your players run around too much. It's just a bit too erratic. It doesn't work as well. Now the width is on 45. Now that is mainly due to the fact of just trying to tuck those fullbacks in. Just try and defend a bit better. Just kind of cover those spaces a little bit better and make sure we're just that little bit more defensively strong, just so people can't break through our team. Like I did just previously explain, the 71 depth is very, very good. For me personally, it is just something that is a must-have on the game at the moment, until they obviously decide to patch it or what. I'm not really too sure. So yeah, so 4-2-1-3, 71 depth. It's OP. Do it, okay, guys. The pressing is just way too good. Now, build-up play, balanced. Again, no fast build-up, no slow build-up or long ball. For me, again, it's just not really worth it with the way this formation plays. Like I said, it is quite similar to the 4-2-3-1, and the extent of it is quite a structured way of playing. Obviously, you do have a couple players a bit higher up the pitch, which means you can be a little bit more aggressive. So maybe if you wanted to, maybe a long ball might be worth it, with having the three so high up the pitch. But for me personally, just on the balanced. Now, direct passing as usual for me, again, absolute must-have. I know some people do like to use forward runs. Where is it there? That basically pushes your players higher up the pitch. It doesn't necessarily mean that your players will make any better runs or anything better for you. Literally all it does is basically just push your players higher up the pitch with forward runs. With direct passing, it makes your players make better in behind runs against your opponent. So it is an absolute must-have, especially when you're using this formation where it's a 4-2-1-3. You've got left wingers, right wingers. It is definitely needed. Now, width is on 35. Now that might be a bit of a surprise. You might think I want the extra width. Wrong. I want the 35 width. I want those wingers tucking in. I want them getting involved with the cam, the striker. I want them to be all involved in the attack, doing passing plays over the top through balls, skill moves. I want my players to be involved in my attack, especially my wider players. And just having that width on 35 just does mean that they do come a bit narrower, get involved a bit more, and just overload our opponents a bit more in these central areas, whilst also having width at other times as well. So for me, it works perfectly. Now, my players in the box is on 6. For me, I don't like to use 7 with a formation like this, just because we have 4 attackers. We don't need the whole cavalry coming up. With some more of the defensive formation, it makes sense to have a slightly higher player in the box, just so you do have some extra attacking runs. But we're going to have 6 players who are capable of getting involved in the attack. We don't need any more. So 6 is the absolute most for me. Now, corners and free kicks both just stay on 2. There just isn't any sense in changing it. For me, I like it just for the pure thing of just not getting caught out on counter-attacks. But it is just down to the individual. Obviously, this is how the team is laid out. And yeah, let's get into it. So we do have our left winger and right winger. They are both on the same instructions. They're both on come back on defence, cut inside, get in behind, get into the box for cross. And our come back on defence is so they come back and help defensively when we do not have the ball, as we do want just as many bodies back as possible to help defend. We do have both of them cut inside, as I explained earlier, because I do want them to become basically narrower players. I want them to get a bit more involved centrally. I do want them to be on getting behind, because I want them to make those runs in between, basically in between the fullbacks and the centre backs. And I do have the supports on crosses, on getting to the box for cross, because I do want them to be available for cutbacks, back post crosses, all that stuff. So like I said, that is the same for my left winger and right winger. Now, my striker is on stay central, getting behind. Obviously stay central because we do have so much wide options between the fullbacks and the wingers. We just don't need him to be in any of those areas. So we want him to stay in the centre of the pitch. And we do also want him on getting behind to try and bomb in behind our fullbacks and really just be, and our centre-back, and their centre-back, and basically just be an absolute nuisance. Now, our cam is on stay forward, getting to the box for cross. Now, that is because of the fact that there is a bit of a glitch that if you have a cam and a CDM, sometimes they switch. Also, it does just work perfectly. Messi basically ends up playing like a shadow striker in behind the striker, and it is just so overpowered. You can do so many good 1-2s, fake plays. There's so many ways of doing it to basically just break down your opponent. So for me, stay forward is just absolutely necessary, and obviously getting to the box across as well, as I explained, for the cutbacks and things like that. Now, as you can see, both of my CDMs are on stay back while attacking cover centre. That is because literally we just want these guys to defend. We want them to help defend our goal as much as possible. Like I said, we do have a lot of attackers, so we don't need them bombing forward. Obviously, if you want them to go forward, you can trigger runs on them anyway. But just for me personally, I just don't like them going forward. I like them to sit back, protect my defence, and really just make us as hard to break down as possible. So yeah, like I said, that is on both of the CDMs. We do have both of our centre-backs and our goalie all on default instructions. And then we do have both fullbacks on stay back while attacking, obviously to just help defend in the back in those wide areas. So yeah, guys, hope you guys did enjoy this video. Like I said, if you did, please drop a like, drop a comment, let me know what you want to see from me in the future, and drop a sub, please. It would help a ton. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.